This is the end result product of a challenge that Stress-tek had. This was to design a part that would sense tension and compression forces on a rod end bearing. The actual temperature spec was pretty high, but it was a short duration. So what you see is basically a temperature resistant coating and a high temperature wire. The challenge with this particular part was this was an existing rod end bearing, and the customer wanted to make it a load sensing device. It sensed tension and compression, and the requirement was that the output and tension needed to match the output and compression to within 1%. That was the challenge because of the drastic change in section from around the bearing to the threaded shaft created unusual stress patterns in the area where the gauge could be placed. Typical catalog gauges that we tried would not come close to meeting the 1% tolerance for tension and compression. What we did was use Photostress, made a model of the bearing section where the gauges were, and were able to visualize the actual stress pattern in the neck down section. There was no catalog gauges available at that time to take advantage of that particular stress pattern, so Stress-tek designed the grid layout for the gauge and had custom gauges made. Those gauges were applied to the part, and it ended up working to within 1%. It's an advantage that Stress-tek has that a lot of other companies would not have, that we have the in-depth knowledge to look at the stress patterns and optimize the gauge selection to get the best performance out of the existing stress pattern.